Welcome to the Sunday before Lent. In a few days' time, Lent will begin, and we will begin our annual special time of focusing on our journey with Jesus to the cross. Where better to come to focus on a journey than to Liverpool? A place where many began their journeys to a new life, their dream of a better future, in the Americas, in the Antipodes, and beyond. Where else better to come than the only place on earth that two cathedrals built in the 20th century? What does Lent mean to you? A time of giving up, a time for doing extra, a time of preparation for Easter, the greatest feast of the church's year, or just a time to feel guilty because you're not doing as others are doing? If, like me, you've got any experience of working with Muslims, it can be impossible as a Christian not to feel embarrassed about the way we talk about giving things up in Lent, whilst Muslims get on with it and keep the fast of Ramadan in preparation for Eid. If you're going to give things up, it's not just about chocolate or alcohol. It's about things that really change our lives. I often say to people, when they ask me what I'm giving up for Lent, I say I'm giving up cigarettes. And they look at me and they say, I didn't know you smoked. And I say, I don't. But it's not about giving up the easy things. It's about the hard things. A few years ago, I persuaded my colleagues we should switch off our email server for Lent, and all communication should be by phone or face to face. Impossible, they said. And the local press made fun of me, and you can see that on the screen now. But nobody's ever forgotten that Lent. People often say, if only we could rid ourselves of emails today. The disciples had to learn that they too had to give things up to walk with Jesus. If they were going to walk with the cross, sometimes they had to give things up, even when they believed they'd found the Holy Grail. These great paintings represent the moment on the Mount of the Transfiguration that Jesus came face to face with Moses, the great lawgiver, and Elijah, the great prophet. This is the great moment that Jesus is revealed as God made man. The disciples with him, Jesus with Peter, James and John on the mountain, they wanted to stay there forever. How often have you arrived at a point where you could happily stay forever? Quite often in our churches, people don't want change. They're just happy with what they've got. And I've met people during this pandemic who are fearful of moving on when it's over because they feel safe and secure in their own little bubble. But we are called to walk alongside Jesus in the garden of life, wherever he leads us. And anybody who's ever worked hard to make their garden beautiful knows that you can spend a short time admiring it, but unless you continue to tend it, it doesn't remain beautiful for long. So too with our faith. Unless we constantly tend it and feed it, it loses its sparkle. Lent, in the end, is what you make it. But being prepared to take the risen Christ into your heart and your lives at Easter is not an option. It's at the very heart and soul of our faith. Here in Liverpool, we have those two great cathedrals which stand as monuments to people's faith. So let us pray that this Lent, that God will continue to be our guardian and our guide, hearing us when we call out to him for help and support, and holding us tight lest we slip or fall on the journey of life, which is the way of the cross. God bless. Stay safe.